Hey there, everybody. Don Evans here from WatchReport.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Helm Vanuatu. Helm Watches is a new brand out of Hong Kong. They say they have roots based in North Carolina, but as far as I can tell, it is more than anything a Chinese micro brand. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to convey as much as I can about the brand. This is their first model. Now, let me run down the specs here and the price real quick and get that out of the way, and then I will concentrate on what I know about the brand and we can talk about the watch. It is a 43 millimeter case. It is 14 millimeters thick. It is all satin brushed finish. You have a 120 click bezel with a PVD steel coated insert. 22 millimeter lugs, 50 millimeters lug to lug. Seiko NH35 movement sapphire crystal, and the price is $349 plus $30 shipping. So a little just under $400 with the shipping. So as I said, Helm Watches is out of Hong Kong. Brand new company on the market, and this is their first model. Was just released. By the time you're watching this video, it was released a couple weeks ago, about maybe 3 weeks ago, by the time you're watching this video. And they didn't go the Kickstarter route. They didn't have a pre-order or anything. They just had shown up, kind of not unlike Marinez, when Marinez watches, if you're familiar, first showed up on the scene. It was kind of like one day they had a website up and they were selling watches. And Marinez really doesn't do pre-orders or anything of that nature either, and they have no social media presence. As a matter of fact, I believe Marinez just got a Instagram account like 2 weeks ago. So far, I don't see a social media presence for Helm Watches, just their website. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to be silent for a change. I know, go figure, and give you a look all around the watch. And then what I'm going to do is talk about it a little bit and talk about my specific model that I have in hand and some of the things I like and some of the issues that I see. Okay, I think I gave you the best look I could at it there. Give you a closer up look of the case and the dial. Now, some of the things I want to talk about, and I want to be very upfront about this. I've gone back and forth a couple of emails with Matt from Helm Watches, and I don't want to say that the issues that I have with this watch, which I'm going to explain here, are indicative of it, this model in general. Seems I might have got maybe just one that had a little bit of sloppy quality control. A fellow friend of mine who also got one of these in for review for another site says he really doesn't have the issues that I have. But I just want you to be aware that, my particular model, and it's the only one I can go by, has some issues. One of those issues is this loose bezel. You could see that it has a lot of back and forth play in it. Okay, okay. Now, when I first got it, it was even looser to the point where I could have pushed it with one finger. I've, per the owner's instructions, ratcheted it about 30 times and it has tightened up a little bit, but there is still a considerable amount of play in this. It might not show up on video here, but my particular bracelet, I've had a lot of these style of bracelets over the years, and that super engineer or Boschette cave dweller style. The links they get caught up, they get snugged or snagged. I don't think snug is a word, but it doesn't evenly flow. And if you're familiar with, say, the Boschette harpoon or cave dweller or super engineer, they're a little more flexible than this. Okay. One of the other issues is, and it just might not come through on the camera, unfortunately, is the finishing. To me, just it seems this just was not brushed and sanded enough beforehand, and there's like discoloration looking in the steel itself. The clasp is actually very nice. I like that it's squared off, and I like the way they did the lock here on it, the flip lock clasp. And you do get way more micro adjustment holes than you normally do, so that's very good. And personally, I found this case back to have kind of sharp edges, rough edges when you rub your hand across it. Now, with that said, on the wrist, really not as much of an issue. I don't really feel it. Now, another thing I'm going to be honest about here is I did not size this bracelet, and I really don't plan on it, and I have been wearing the test model out here on a rubber strap of my own, just so I can get a feel for the look of the case and everything. And the reason, like I said, that I have not sized this bracelet is, one, I already noticed when I was looking at the watch when I got it that the screws were kind of already coming loose, and I hadn't even touched it yet. And two, I just don't like the way it looks or feels. So I decided, you know what? I already know that I'm not the biggest fan of it. Again, on this particular one that I received. So I chose to wear this on a rubber strap. And in the full review at watchreport.com, there'll be a link down below as usual. I'll show this on a rubber strap that I worn it on, just so you can get a look. It also comes with a choice of colored NATO straps, and you could choose a couple of different colors of these. You will see that you do have drilled lugs. Crown action is actually pretty decent. I really had no issues here with setting the time or the date. And it screws back down actually really easily, very smoothly. No issues, engaging it or anything like that. So if I had to rate this on a number system, 1 being lowest and 10 being highest, a 7 at best. And that's for the one that I have in hand. I want to be very clear. I like the look of the watch. I like the design of the watch. I love the dial. And overall, it's kind of a combination of different watches. You kind of got that Boschette look going with the bracelet, and, marathon style looking bezel, and Sin style hands, and almost maybe a Korsbeck style case going on here. I think out of the gate, it's a decent offering. I'm going to kind of compare this a little bit to Obrus Morgan. Now, I can't remember one of the first Obrus Morgan watches that I reviewed. I can't remember the model name. But if I go back and I compare that watch to the watches that Obrus Morgan is making now, it is leaps and bounds above what they first started producing. Can this happen with Helm watches? Of course it can. If they're really, concerned about making a nice company and, building a good quality watch for an affordable price, of course they can improve. I think, they kind of got the design right. I just don't think quality control features were the best. And again, you could buy one and it could be absolutely perfect. As I said, A friend of mine got one, and it is better than this. I'm hoping that if you do get one like mine, that Helm Watches will rectify it and shoot you out a new one that has a little better standards to it. I love the look, and if you take a look at the full review on watchreport.com, I love the look of it on my wrist. I will show it to you on my wrist here. Like I said, I have not sized this, so if you want to see how it really fits against my wrist, you're going to want to look on watchreport.com and check it out where I have it on a strap, because with this bracelet unsized, you're not going to get the greatest look. But it is a 43 millimeter case. It's going to wear very nice, and it's only 14 millimeters thick, so it is not very thick and bulky. Also, if you do choose to buy one of these and you buy it, and want to wear it on the bracelet, I have a 7.5-inch wrist. You could see how much room is left there. I'm going to say at least an 8.5 out of the box, maybe a 9-inch. So for you bigger guys, with the bigger wrists, you should be able to wear this out of the box, no issue. So this has been a look at the Helm Vanuatu diver. Check out the full review on watchreport.com. Leave a like or a comment here on YouTube. Please be respectful when you do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are not. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And a real quick plug here. If you haven't checked out our giveaway section on watchreport.com, you're going to want to check that out. Currently, as of the video recording that I'm doing here, we're giving away a LoomTech. But we're always trying to give something else away there, so you're always going to want to keep your eye on that section of the site. This has been Don Evans for watchreport.com, and we'll see you on the next video.